Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I hope that you can sit tight with some popcorn and a pickle if that's the combination that you go for. I know that when I said that I eat popcorn and pickle together, everybody thought that that was super weird. I think it's just a Southern thing. So yeah, just sit tight because this is going to be a conversation video between you and I hope it does provide some sort of value to you. Anybody out there who is looking to purchase a home this year, next year, or whenever your time frame is, this could be very useful for you. And I hope this is a learning lesson for those watching and some valuable information your way as well. So let's just jump right in. What is the biggest mistake that buyers do? The biggest mistake that buyers do is that they wait to submit a mortgage application. And more so than none, one of the biggest reasons is because they're afraid to see what the outcome is going to be. Number two is that they think it's going to hurt their credit score way more than it actually does. And we're going to cover that in a little bit. But first, let's reverse that because this one's a lot easier to cover. So when you submit a mortgage application, it is not drop your score by 10, 20, 15 points. I know I come across so many buyers who need to do a mortgage application and they're very hesitant on it because they don't want to drop their score. And let me give you two cases. Let's say a person wants to submit a mortgage application and their score is 500 and they're like, no, I've been working on it. I don't want to submit an application because I know it's going to drop it a little bit and I've been working so hard on this. If your score is already at 500, it's going to hurt it by 3, 4, maybe 5 points. And if it's already at 500, dropping it to 495 isn't going to do anything positive or negative for you because we're already in a position where we need to work on that anyways, right? And then let's reverse that. If your credit score is 750 and you don't want to submit a mortgage application, going down to 745, you're still gonna be in a great position. So let's look at it like that. When we're in one of those positions, it's not gonna hurt you more than you think. It's not like purchasing a vehicle where they run your credit about 30 times and you see a huge decrease in your credit score versus buying a home. It will drop about 3, 4, maybe 5 points. And then guess what? It goes back up after 60 days. And then, like I said, that minimal drop is going to do absolutely nothing detrimental to you or your purchasing power or your application at all. And then let's talk about that gap. When you submit a mortgage application, that pre-approval is good for 4 months. After that, we're just gonna need updated documents and they'll re-pull as well, which again, isn't going to hurt you. But within that 4 months, let's say you wanna quote unquote shop the rates and you wanna go to 20 different lenders, if that's what you wanna do to see who can offer you the best rate. Within that time period, you can do as many applications as you wish and it will not hurt your credit that many times. Now let's go back to reason number one, because they are afraid of what the outcome is going to be. So when you submit a mortgage application, let's take away the idea of it being a yes or no, right? Because when you submit a mortgage application, let's say you get a no, that is a beautiful thing because now you get to see what is hurting you and your ability to purchase a home. And then we get to create a game plan for you. So that way in 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever the mark is, we now have a goal to work towards. So that way, you know, hey, all you got to do is fix 1, 2, 3, and then in 7 months, you should be able to purchase a property if you do the homework that we provided for you. So it's a great game plan. It takes away or eliminates all the what ifs that a buyer has in their mind and gives you clarity. Because a lot of buyers are thinking to themselves, I don't want to submit a mortgage application because what if I don't get approved? What if my debt to income ratio is not as what I think it is? What if my credit score is bad? What if? Let's take away all the what ifs. Let's stop guessing and finally get a game plan in place, right? And then if you get approved, then yeah, you get approved. So think of it like that. It's not a yes or no. It's a yes or game plan. Let's hit that 6 month mark, that 4 month mark. Sometimes it's a 60-day mark. And that's a beautiful thing rather than just sitting and just guessing what may or may not happen. So now I'm going to talk about some certain scenarios that I have personally gone through with personal clients and what they went through because they hesitated on submitting a mortgage application sooner than later. Story number one, I had a couple. They reached out to me about 3 months before they wanted to purchase their first home. So they were tied to a lease, right? They're in an apartment renting. They had 90 days before their lease ended and they came to me. No, no worries there. You know, first-time buyers don't know, and that's okay. So I wasn't going to condemn them for that. But when I found out their timeline, I myself was like, okay, let's get this going, right? Because think about it. When you execute a contract and then closing day, that's about a 30 to 40 day window within itself. So let's already take away those 40 days that it's going to take to close on that home, and then add an additional maybe like 3 weeks for us to find a home, go under contract, negotiate, yada, yada, yada. So now we have about a month and a half left to really get this going, right? So first things first, I paired them up with my preferred lender. They submit the application, and obstacle number 1, their credit score wasn't where they thought it was. So let's go over this really quickly. Your credit score, I know there's a lot of systems out there where we're able to check our credit score, like Credit Karma or any other credit monitoring sites. So a lot of times the score that we see is not the score that the mortgage lender uses. And don't quote me on these numbers, but when the credit scores that we see, they're following model 8, I believe it is, and lenders use model 11. Again, those numbers could be wrong, but the point is that they're different models that you see versus what lenders use. And so they're always off. And so they thought that they're at a 660, but they were actually at a 615. It was a pretty big gap, right? So that didn't disqualify them from obtaining a pre-approval, but it did take away us utilizing down payment assistance. So that was the obstacle number 1 that we had to fix, and fix fast, so that way we can keep up with their timeline, right? So that goes into the game plan, right? So whenever they submit the mortgage application and we saw that obstacle that we had to overcome, the mortgage lender now is able to see all the things as to what exactly is hurting your score. And so he was able to tell them, hey, your score is being affected the most from this. And so buyers have that advantage of not having to overcome exhibits 1 through 5 when the loan officer only needs exhibits 1 through 3. Now we're saving you time and we're saving you money, because a lot of buyers who don't know what is affecting them so grandly, they're going to think, okay, I just got to pay off everything and I got to do this. And it's like, no, actually we only need steps 1 through 3 and you're over here doing 1 through 8. So that's the cool thing about submitting a mortgage application and getting a game plan put in place, so that way you know exactly what to battle and you're not wasting time and money on all the other things, right? So they went ahead and fixed the items that my loan officer had told them, hey, this is what's hurting you and your score the most. And if you fix these 3, we can do a rescore, which takes only 10 days. So that way your score is exactly where we need to be in order to continue the journey. So they went ahead and tackled those 3 items that they needed, and obstacle number 2 came into play. One of the items that they had to overcome, that company was some company that I don't even remember, and it was the hardest thing to get a hold of in order for them to send us documentation that it was paid off and clear. And keep in mind, this is just a little asterisk into a whole other conversation. You don't always have to pay off things. And it's actually really important that you don't completely pay off, let's just say, a credit card and close it out, because that's actually going to hurt your credit score more than just not exceeding 30% of the limit. And we'll cover that in a different video. So they went ahead and paid that item off, and the loan officer needs documentation from that company showing, hey, this is paid off. So that way they can submit that to underwriting, and that way they can continue the process of the loan, and they can do a rescore, and it's a quick 10 to 12 day turnaround, which allows us to continue the process of purchasing that home where we need to be in order to obtain the financing that we were trying to obtain. And I hope you're tracking me and all of this makes sense. So even though they're able to clear that item out, that company took, I'm not even kidding guys, it took 45 days for us to get a hold of somebody for them to give us that document. And so that hurt our timeline and crunched everything together, which made the buyers feel overwhelmed and stressed, and also put pressure on me to quickly find them their home, their perfect home, and then still get to closing in enough time where their lease date isn't overlapping the closing date, because now that's even more stressful, right? So that is the perfect example that I had to go through and walk my clients through. because they waited a little too long to submit that mortgage application, not knowing that we had these obstacles to overcome. And even though those obstacles were really easy to take care of, it was waiting on the documentation from those companies to send us what we needed to continue the process. All right, guys, so I hope that video made sense, and I hope you took some golden nuggets from it. I hope that it was some sort of valuable and resourceful to you. If it was, share it with somebody else who you know could use this video as a learning lesson, and also just some encouragement to get in a pre-approval sooner than later. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. My number is here on the screen. It's absolutely everywhere. Follow all my social medias so that way you can see behind the scenes content of the market here in Texas. If you're looking to purchase a home, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I can help you absolutely anywhere. I know that I am in the state of Texas, but I have connections everywhere to ensure that you're paired with a great realtor that's going to help you the exact same way that I would. And hey, even if you watching this video, you're still a little bit skeptical about submitting a mortgage application for XYZ, no worries. I truly do understand. Let's just go ahead and start off with a conversation, and then we can take our preferred steps in the right time that makes you feel the most comfortable. And that's what's most important to me, is that one, you have clarity, and two, that you are comfortable. So again, maybe you still aren't comfortable to submit an application. No worries. Let's just have a conversation and start there, because getting guidance is the number one thing that you can do when purchasing the biggest thing that you will ever buy in your lifetime. I love you guys. Jesus loves you more, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.